And we are back. Welcome back to the Smoke Break JBR, the Just Be Real podcast where we sit down, talk some shit, and just be real. And I'm back with my good friend, Brandon. What's up, Brandon?
What's going on, my friend? How's it going?
It's going pretty good, brother. Going pretty good. Gaming, playing some Diablo Immortal.
Finally.
That you let me borrow. Phenomenal game.
Oh, I know,
Phenomenal game. But other than that, man, doing pretty good. Had a weird morning. Did I tell you about the old lady that's chasing me down now?
No, you never told me.
Okay. So for those of you who don't know, I have a Great Dane, and she's huge. For people who don't know what a Great Dane is, it's a giant fucking dog. But there's this little old lady, okay? Maybe I told you this, maybe I didn't. But there's this little old lady that keeps, like, holding me hostage every time I walk the dog, right?
You got to clarify. Remember, we're on YouTube. You can't say always those holding you hostage type of comment.
Well, I'm not, she's holding me. I don't know. She's just holding me on standby while she has a conversation and talks about my dog. So she's holding.
Could you do me a favor and push in the mic cable into your mic? It seems like it's kind of little finicky here and there.
Is it working better?
Yeah. Hold a little bit of slack in your lap.
Yeah. She has a lot of slack.
Oh,
is it running fine?
Seems like it.
But can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Sometimes there's a little cuts in and out, but I think it's good now.
Is it fine?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, there's this lady that every time I see her, she holds me for like 10 minutes. I think I did tell you the story where last week when it was raining.
I think so.
So I ran into her again.
Oh, no.
Okay? I ran into her again. So I'm walking away, okay? Like, I'm walking, I forgot what street. I'm walking on, like, San Fernando. I'm walking uphill. And I see her behind me. I'm like,
oh, no.
Oh, not again.
You could already see what's coming through.
Like, please, not again. Please don't do this to me again. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to outwalk her. I'm going to walk up this giant hill. There's no way she can beat me. Like, there's no way. I'm 26, and I should be able to beat her up the hill, and she should be gassed, and I should be able to outwalk her, be fine, right?
Yeah, no problem. Right?
So I go down a few streets, and then I walk uphill. I get to the top of the hill, Brandon, and I make a left, and look who's there.
She's there already?
She cut me off, dude.
What?
She cut me off. There was a part of me that went, maybe I should double back. That way, maybe she won't. I should have.
You should have.
She literally cut me off. She really
is that like her goal for the day? It's like, you know what? If
dude,
I see that dog,
she just loves my
I'm
dog.
gone.
Like you've met my dog. My dog is awesome.
Of course,
she's the sweetest dog in the world.
Beast.
But this, literally, this lady, every time she sees my dog, she holds me there for like 10 minutes. Just like, oh my God, where do you get one? She's so amazing. She's so sweet. After 10 months of hearing that about my dog, I'm over it. I love my dog. I know she's amazing. A year, I should say. Sorry. A year, almost 2 years, I should say.
Goodness.
Almost a year of having this dog, I'm over it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, I get my dog is very unique. You don't need to stop me every 10 minutes to let me know. But she's hilarious. So she's a sweet lady, but she just keeps holding me. Like, I keep trying to, like, walk around words.
You got to be careful, man.
I know, because YouTube's so crazy. But let's jump into it today, man.
So what type of topics? What topics do we have for today?
Well, first of all, do you see that Fyre Fest documentary?
Oh man, I've been hearing about it. I haven't had the chance to watch it, but
you know what Fyre Fest is, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, who does not know about Fyre Fest?
For the rare few who don't know what Fyre Fest is, Fyre Fest was this supposedly huge party. Huge event that was going to take place in the Bahamas, in Pablo Escobar's island.
A private island.
It was Pablo Escobar's former island.
Oh, man.
So that's literally how they marketed it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And everything went wrong with this. Like, everything went wrong with this festival. And it was nothing but rich kids that got stranded in the middle of the Bahamas just trying to find a way home. I don't want to give anything away for the documentary for the people at home who haven't seen it, but honestly, such a good documentary. But if you have Hulu, you got to watch both. There's two different ones. So there's the one on Netflix, and then there's the one on the Hulu.
Okay.
On Hulu.
Oh, you're getting older, man. On the YouTubes, on the Netflixes.
Yeah, I turned 27 this year. I am getting old. It sucks.
No, you're getting there.
So on the Hulus, their version is more of how he did it Like how this guy conned all these kids, how this guy literally like spent all this money and fraudulently had all this money. And the other one is how everyone around him, all the money makers that provided, all his workers, everyone, it's basically how everyone fell for it and sipped on the Kool-Aid and decided to keep going forward with this guy. Even though they knew it was fucked from the start. And
it's like, even instead of like saying, hey, man, we know that this sort of thing that you're making
here's the weird
needs more
part, though, man. There are people in the interviews that said, we told him this. And somehow, every time, he would convince us everything's going to be okay. You know how crazy that is? That's a cult leader.
Yeah, basically.
That's like a really good salesman. That's all a cult leader is, really. It's just a very good salesman. Like, hey, man, you know, if you believe in this, you get to go to space. But you have to wear Nikes and sip this Kool-Aid. But honestly, man, it's insane how so many people fell for this guy's shit. It's outrageous. Good documentaries. Highly recommend you watch it.
There's also the one on YouTube by Internet Historian.
Yeah, we saw that one.
Yeah.
That one's really good too. I have to say, if you want to watch like 3 really good documentaries back to back,
I'd say
that one's more like a show.
Yeah, I'd say the one on Netflix and on Hulu is very informative.
Yeah.
And then the one on YouTube is informative, but also very entertaining.
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, I'm gonna say this: the Netflix one has one part of it. I'm not going to give anything away for the people who want to see it. But the way I will break down everything in this movie is one simple line where it's, I was ready to SMD for some water. Wow. Okay? I'm not going to say the whole thing because unfortunately YouTube is very, very precise and very particular of what we say on here. So I won't say it, but yeah.
I mean, if we got to that point, man, it was
like
total catastrophe.
He was ready to down some things, okay, just for water. Okay, he was gonna take a shot in the back of the mouth.
Imagine if it was for that. If that was for water, imagine for food. Oh man.
Well, even the food they had, the picture of the food they had was so funny. It was literally 2 pieces of bread, lettuce, and cheese.
Yeah, I saw that picture when it was first coming out.
You know how much that made me laugh inside. Where all these rich people like to camp, but they don't like camping when it's a surprise. Yeah. Honestly, they don't.
Yeah, that's true.
They really don't like to camp when it's a surprise.
Also, they don't like to camp when it requires a lot of effort.
Yeah, no, come on. But that's the whole point of camping is like to put in a little bit of effort.
Yeah,
they were gonna stay in FEMA tents.
Well, that was once they showed up.
Come on.
Originally, it was gonna be a private villas and all these
really
things.
Nice villas and amazing ocean views and amazing this. They got FEMA tents.
And not even enough.
Exactly.
They ended up like stealing other people's tents and stuff.
Dude, my favorite part about the whole thing is when the guests started showing up, they started crying. Some people started crying at the sight. Like, oh my God, can you turn the bus around? Oh my. It's like, oh my God, this is hilarious.
I mean, like, for me, those FEMA tents look kind of snazzy. I'm like, it's a globe style. I've never been in half a snow globe. That's pretty cool. But of course, understandably, what they're actually intended for is much more dire.
I was gonna say like Brandon.
It's a cool shape, but I wouldn't want to be.
You're in love with the design.
Yeah, the design is phenomenal. Impressive design. Optimal use.
It just made me laugh. It was just like, dude, seeing all these kids panic was just the best feeling in the world. But honestly,
there's
everyone,
that one kid that was there who got the free ticket.
who won the free tickets.
And he's like, oh, dude, this is amazing. I'm in the Bahamas?
Like, he was excited for the fact that he could watch all these rich kids panic about food and water, and he's just having the time of his life.
Lettuce, and cheese? Yo, that's my Tuesday.
Right. Like, that guy made me laugh. That, like, gave you that little silver lining around the whole thing where it's like there was
one of us.
Normal guy there who was just like, this is hilarious. Like, you guys are so funny. You guys are so scared about tents. But honestly, I will say this. When the night came and everyone had to find a tent and figure it out, dude, people went fucking bananas.
Oh, yeah.
People turned into Lord of the Flies.
Oh,
it was
They started stealing other people's mattresses and stuff.
Dude, you could hear, like, there's video of people holding their phones and, like, videotaping things, and you hear, stop it! It's like, oh my God.
Desperation.
You leave 100 rich people on an island, they panic.
They don't know how to work together. Basically every man for himself.
No idea what to do.
Ugh.
Like, that is the funniest part to me. It's like, wow, all these rich kids don't know what to do in a hostile situation.
Oh, yeah.
This is amazing. So funny.
Well,
But
now you know
honestly,
where not to be.
I know, right? And you know what's funny? They actually started setting up, like, they literally started setting up for Firefest 2019.
Well, wasn't
Like-
it part of the whole deal where if you were to pay X amount of money, you would be like, oh, you're in line for the next one too?
Yep, you're in line for the next one. But they already, literally, I think it's Ja Rule, has already started again. This is my favorite part about this whole situation. How much do you trust Ja Rule to run, or basically like manage or be the money guy for a festival? Ja Rule. Ja Rule of all people.
Yeah, I mean,
Ja
he would
Rule-
want to get somebody that's their primary job of organizing events and all
But
that.
you get friends with Ja Rule. Like, how do you even become friends with Ja Rule?
Like, for
like-
the notoriety? But that's
What
about
notoriety? What has Ja Rule done?
it. His name. Ja
That's about
Rule.
it. But honestly, dude, it was funnier to me just to see these kids. And also this weekend, I watched the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie.
How were you able to watch it? It was all sold out.
First of all, YouTube needs to step up their game because I watched it for free on YouTube.
Somebody was
Yeah.
upload. Was it like a
someone
video?
at YouTube security let that slide.
Well, I mean, like over.
Dude,
what is
when
it,
I
every
clicked
minute?
it, it already had 13K views.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
By the time I exited out and looked at the history later on,
Uh-huh.
it had about 180K views.
Yo.
So that means 180,000 people got to watch this movie for free before YouTube took it down.
That's a lot of tickets.
That's a
Especially now that tickets are going for like $15, $17.
Don't even remind me, dude.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I
how
was
do I
going.
want
You
to
gotta
go
go
to a movie
matinee.
theater now when I'm going to spend $60 on literally, and that's for, let's say it's a date, random person, you know what I mean? If you're taking someone on a date there, it's 2 tickets, you're spending 30 on that.
Yep.
Guaranteed, more than likely, you're going to buy something at the concession.
Popcorn and drinks usually.
Popcorn and drink, and you're going to spend
$40 right
another
there.
$35 on that.
It's like
Because you and I both know how expensive that shit is.
Oh, yeah.
It's-
Oh yeah, it's
outrageous.
pricey now. That's why you go matinee. But it's like you're gonna wake up in the early morning.
Hey man, don't hate on the early morning.
Hey,
I do that.
it. I do it too.
I do that all the time.
It just sucks because it's
I've
like
been doing that for so long. My dad made us do that so many times. It was either the matinee show or the latest show possible.
oof.
I had to watch Harry Potter as a child at like midnight. Not even opening day.
Okay, yeah,
Not even
there's
opening
a
day.
difference right
No,
there.
not opening day. Like Saturday at midnight. Oh, did we tap out really quick? Yeah,
It's
you
the
forget to
frickin-
hit the button.
I keep on forgetting to hit the button.
So what does that do to our video feed when we like cut out by accident?
Nothing. It just returns.
Oh, it's
back.
just.
Boom.
But are we back?
Yeah, we're still good.
Oh, okay.
Nothing went down.
I'm just making sure. But no, yeah, my dad made us either watch the super late show or the super early show.
Uh-huh.
So I remember watching Harry Potter, and I was young, of course. and
Wait,
so
which
I'm the
one?
only one that's interested
1,
in the
2,
movie.
3, 4, 5, or 6, or 7.
First,
Ah.
exactly. So we're watching the first one. I'm enjoying myself, and I'm watching it. My dad and my brother are passed out because it's like 2 in the morning.
See, there's your problem.
It's 2 in the morning, and it's like almost done. I got to the fluffy part with the 3-headed dog.
Oh yeah.
And I look over, I'm like, Dad! And he's passed out, and my brother's passed out. Yeah, it was like,
should've
wow,
brought a
this is a
pen.
late movie.
You should have
Like,
brought a pen. Draw mustaches.
If my dad already has the full getup as I do, wouldn't really.
Thicker eyebrows,
Oh God.
so he can get really mad at you.
So I can. So literally, the entire theater can see what it's like to catch an assault charge.
It's
Like,
okay. He's my
Jesus.
child. It's okay. I'm just teaching him manners.
I'm teaching him manners. But back to what I said before. Am I pulling too much slack now?
No, you're good.
Okay. I watched the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. Honestly, dude, this is the best movie. Like,
Wow. The
Considering-
animation was really, really good.
phenomenal animation, a great storyline,
Oh,
and the
okay.
character development of Broly himself, great. Because you know how I don't know if you watched the original or anyone who watched the original.
I watched the original.
The original movie, they kind of showed Broly more as this animal. You know what I mean? Like he can't
Like a
control
caged beast.
himself. Nothing like that.
Uh-huh.
With this, they gave him more of a backstory and more of like a humanity. and it's really good.
A deeper personality.
A much deeper personality. You actually got to feel for Broly. You got to like.
Because I do remember from the first one, he was kind of timid, kind of not really 100% into the whole fighting and everything.
Because
and then
remember, he had that necklace and everything that kind of restrained him, right?
Yeah.
So they still, I really don't want to give this away. So they still keep that concept there, but it's done in a much better way.
Okay.
Because it's definitely done in a lot better way. So in my personal opinion, this is probably the better Broly, like the best one so far. And as of Dragon Ball movies, this is the best one.
As far as like its placement in a timeline, does it come after the first one, or is it a replacement for the first one?
It comes out right because remember, the original Broly movies were not canon. They're not canon.
Okay.
So this movie takes place right after the Tournament of Power.
Okay,
So how I'm seeing it is they're going to do it exactly how they did it with the original movies that came out before Super came out. Because originally the movies were Battle of the Gods, and then it was Resurrection F with Frieza. That's season 1 and 2 of Dragon Ball Super.
Okay.
That's literally season 1 and 2. So what I'm assuming is their next season is going to be the Broly movie, just done as a show, and then they're going to jump into their new season.
Okay.
I want to continue on with this conversation, but I'm going to let it...
Simmer
I'll talk
through.
about it next month.
Okay.
Because I have a lot of theories, and I don't want to give away this movie. Because this movie is so well done.
You gotta let the people watch it and figure it out for themselves of the whole thing and what could and couldn't happen.
Well, if you're a big Dragon Ball Super fan, watch this movie.
Or Dragon Ball fan
just
in
Dragon
general.
Ball fan in general, watch it. Or if you just like animes, just watch it. It's fucking dope. But honestly, good movie.
They handle it well.
They honestly handled everything very well. And like you said earlier, the visuals on it, and honestly, there was like a good little bit of comedy.
Oh.
Like, good comedy.
Slapstick or like smart comedy?
More of like the situation where it's like, oh shit.
Oh, okay.
Shit. Like, that's funny because they're doing this and that's happening. And it's like, oh, that's great.
Okay.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, that's...
See, when it comes to movies like that where you expect just the majority being just action, it's kind of cool that they add in a little bit of comedy.
Add like a little humor.
To kind of like ease up on the whole tension here and there.
Which is really appreciated.
Definitely.
Because with that whole action scene, it's really great, but it's nice to add that.
The mouth
and
laser
I will
blast?
say this, because of the way the movie was shot, and I wouldn't say shot, but cut up, I feel like they left it open for that to be their next season after the Tournament of Power.
See, because it's actually now part of canon, I think that if they were to introduce Broly into the whole, God realm and everything, that'd be really cool to see how, Beerus and all the other characters would react to Broly and knowing how strong he is and after fighting.
Well, you
Goku
never
and
watched
all
Dragon Ball Super, huh?
portions.
The Tournament of Power?
Yeah,
Because remember, they kind of ran into a Broly already.
they did.
Kefla.
Yeah.
Or Khalifa, whatever her name was. Cauliflower.
Yeah,
That's her name.
cauliflower.
I forgot Khalifa, but it's cauliflower, basically, in Japanese.
No, he's Khalifa.
But, but no, so with that one, we kind of already got introduced to a Broly-esque character.
Because that was the Broly of that universe,
It
basically.
was Lady Broly.
Yeah.
Yeah, female Broly. So I kind of guess, I kind of assume they kind of already know about this trait, but it's really cool how they introduced it in this movie. It's really good. It's really, really good how they introduced it to this movie. I like it. It's maybe because I'm a nerd, but it is a good movie.
I'm like, if you like really, strong fighting action scenes and everything, it's definitely, one of the top
It's definitely
ones.
one of those movies like anyone can watch, and it's easy to follow. Speaking of movies, oh my God. So we talked about this months ago, about the Dark Phoenix trailer. The trailer looked awesome.
It did.
The trailer looks amazing. You want to hear some crazy shit that happened? It's crazy what's happening. So Dark Phoenix was reshot some scenes, okay? They already reshot some scenes. And they have test screened it 3 times. 3 times, okay?
Okay.
Every time they got the worst reviews.
What?
They got terrible reviews.
Is this going to be a Suicide Squad?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
But there was 2 critics. Not 2 critics. 1 critic and 1 guy who had watched the movie, right? And who got a test screening. The critic said, this is probably one of the worst movies I've seen. It's really bad. And the other guy, the guy who actually just watched it, he's not a critic. He commented about it, and he goes, in one of the most serious scenes of the movie, the entire crowd was laughing.
Oh no.
And then the critic literally commented back and went, I think I know exactly which scene you're talking about. So for people to already be hating the movie before it even releases in the test screening, do you think they're going to scrap the film?
I mean, like, if you look at other movies that are similar that had a lot of reshoots, like Suicide Squad, it still
Han
turned out
Solo?
still turned out pretty garbage.
Garbage.
We
talked about it here today. Solo, garbage movie.
Oh yeah, of course.
Garbage movie.
I'm just hoping that
Fight me if you think otherwise.
that
It's
maybe because it was a test screening to an audience, it could be just total garbage. But I'm hoping that it's just that audience that
But
took
you
it
have
wrong.
to think this. When it's a test, I don't know if you ever been to a test screening at all.
I think once before. I can't remember.
Test screenings are basically, they're not fans. They're not you and I. They're average, normal people because that's really who they're targeting. They're not targeting the fans. They're targeting average people. They're targeting the average American who's going to see this movie or the average person who's going to see this movie. So it's those people outside of AMC who say, hey, do you want to watch this movie? So it's those guys. It's anyone who falls for that little thing of, hey, do you want to watch this movie?
Yeah.
So I have to go with the fact that 10% of that theater, of each one, is a comic book fan in some way, shape, or form and knows X-Men.
True.
And knows an in-depth amount
True.
about X-Men. I'm going to say 10%, and that's even being
Generous.
very generous,
Yeah.
okay? So the other 90 is the average normal consumer. So you got to think, if everyone's saying it's bad in all 3 test screenings, that means you have more than enough of average people to watch this movie. And all 3 of them say it's a shit movie. It's a shit movie. It's got to be a bad
okay,
movie.
well, you got to look. What about Warcraft? People didn't like it, but those who knew the source material were like, it's actually pretty good.
That wasn't test screened, and then people said it was bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is testing. This isn't like,
But
Warcraft came out and it didn't do very well in the box office.
When it came out, it was available for the general public, so anybody could go and watch it. So if you were to kind of use that as a basis, because for the test screenings you have regular people,
absolutely,
maybe
so
there's a
test
chance,
screenings
10% chance.
I would highly doubt that because remember, Warcraft as a movie, not bad.
Yeah,
not a bad movie.
Not
if
bad
you know
movie.
a little bit more about the original Warcraft,
it's even better.
It's even better for you. The thing is, that was just a movie they released, and everything gets test screened. So I'm assuming it passed the test screening with a certain X amount of margins for them to go, okay, this is a legitimate movie.
True.
This is something we
True.
can put out. So imagine all 3 of your test screenings are not passing the minimum margin. You think they're really going to release it? Or are they going to scrap the film?
I'm like, they put
Are they going to dark universe this like fucking Universal did? Or are they going to release it, bite their teeth, and go, we tried?
I think they might do that because they've invested already a bunch of money into it. I mean, like, if you look at the way that Suicide Squad got that whole thing, people were like kind of excited seeing all the different shots from the pre-testing or pre-everything when they were just showing snippets from just photos. People were kind of excited, and when they start hearing about the reshoots because of testing, it's like, oh no.
Did you see? Sorry, because you reminded me about Suicide Squad, and I forgot to put this on our list.
Oh.
Did you see the little sneak peek of the new Birds of Prey movie?
I saw the image of Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie, right? So there's an
Yeah.
actual video of it, and they show some of the characters and whatever. I'm kind of on the
After
fence
Suicide
here.
Squad, I'm already on the fence. I'm fence.
I'm severely like.
There were so many problems with that movie that how are they still moving forward with this next thing?
I don't know. I don't understand how Suicide Squad can do so bad. Okay, do so bad and justify a Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie movie, Birds of Prey. You know what I mean? Like how do you justify that?
Maybe it wasn't just because I think maybe
as a studio, how do you justify that? Because that movie did.
Maybe the character
shit.
of Harley Quinn and Margot Robbie playing her did pretty well, and it was the rest of the things that were kind of
okay. Then
failure.
where's Will Smith's movie for it? Because he was the second main lead at that point.
I guess maybe Margot Robbie was the best one of the whole bunch.
But Margot Robbie's, in my opinion, that Harley Quinn,
Yeah.
Again, the Joker and
It's
her are the
ultra
Hot
stylized.
Topic version. They're the Silver Lake version of Hot Topic villains.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Highly stylized.
like
highly stylized.
Like the whole hand tattoo over the face. Stupid. He looks like a SoundCloud rapper.
Damage on his forehead.
He looks like a SoundCloud rapper. He looks like
was
6ix9ine before 6ix9ine.
SoundCloud rapper that was rejected by SoundCloud.
Exactly. It looks like SoundCloud went, dude, your tracks suck ass. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Dude, that movie was terrible. Mm-hmm. Terrible movie.
Editing, terrible music was even off. The whole script.
The music was off. The music didn't fit the scene.
Purple Lamborghini. I appreciate it, Rick Ross. But Skrillex, hold on.
Honestly, dude, as a studio, how do you justify putting out not necessarily a sequel, but a spin-off of this terrible movie?
International
Even if it's the one character that's good, how do you justify it?
International market. Maybe
I guess
that's the only possibility that I can see, because
so.
The U.S. market didn't really like it at all.
See, the U.S. market doesn't like a good amount of movies. Like, we didn't like Rampage. I saw Rampage.
Transformers?
What, the new one?
Basically all of them.
Basically all of them, you're right.
Except the first one. The first one was actually kind of good because it was the original.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Okay.
I'm really mad at how people throw the first one under the bus. Look, I know it's Michael Bay. I understand it's Michael Bay. Not everyone likes Michael Bay.
Yeah.
But this is the first Transformers movie.
Yeah.
He put the Transformers on screen. Mm-hmm. When did we ever really see a live action version of a Transformer?
Yeah.
No one. Never. Not never. Okay.
And the first one had actually kind of pretty good storyline that had good action. I mean, like, everything kind of made sense, and then they just started going off the rails. They had the matrix of leadership and all this other mumbo jumbo. I'm like, okay.
It was just the storyline.
We're only until now, like, what, the 5th and 6th movie, they're going to get Unicron?
God. Well,
finally?
First of all, the last one that came out, the last night. Oh my god.
Wait, no, was it the last night?
Oh my god. So I had
yes.
I'm referring to him as his nickname. I had Magic Mike here, right?
Yeah.
So for everyone who doesn't know, I'll explain
Don't
later.
worry about
it doesn't matter. So
we'll get him on. We'll get him on
because it's funny. But Magic Mike, was sitting here and we were like, "Yo, let's just watch it. Let's see how bad it." He made me turn it off. He was like, "Dude, I'm too much of a Transformers fan to sit through this. Can you please turn it off?" I went, "Really?" And he's like, "I can't.
The music is good." I'm like, Shia LaBeouf's acting is actually kind of good. And then,
oh no, this is the last night.
Oh, the last night.
The last night.
Yeah,
like, that movie was.
The only.
How do you have Mark Wahlberg play a Texan? Can someone explain that to me?
He didn't even have the accent.
He didn't even have the accent.
Nothing
He
at
still
all.
had a Boston accent.
I'm from Boston, but I live
and
in
he
Houston.
lived in, and he was a Texan. He openly said that's what happens when you mess with Texas. And he has a Boston accent. That doesn't make sense.
Maybe they should have gotten the vocal coach for Solo.
Oh my God. Probably one of my favorite hints that movie was going to be shit was the fact that they had to hire an acting coach.
Yeah.
An acting coach for Han Solo to play Han Solo. For the lead actor to play the lead character that is the main part of the movie.
It's
By
like
the way, if you haven't seen Solo, don't watch it.
Yeah,
it's
just
garbage. It is hot garbage. It's terrible movie.
Mucho bad.
Very bad. But honestly,
but I'm like the only redeeming quality that The Last Night has is that you finally get some information about Unicron and that's coming through.
We're cutting very.
That's what I'm saying.
Very
at the very,
small
very,
slices of onions.
very end.
You know what I mean?
It's like, at the back end. That's the only thing you should watch. Is like skip everything until the end credits.
But again, like I said, we're cutting very, very thin onions here, and we're all still gonna cry about it because the movies suck.
Yeah,
the movies have no content.
If they would have done, the first one, which was great, and then the second one was like, his kind of redemption or whatever, and the third one would have been Unicron, and you got, the transformation of Megatron.
I think it was last week where I talked about how I watched Rampage.
Uh-huh.
Or no, maybe it was the week after, whatever it was. Maybe. But I watched Rampage with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Not even The Rock. Dwayne Johnson, sorry. Shit. Garbage. Terrible movie. I couldn't even get through 10 minutes.
It ruined my childhood. Because that was like the first game I ever played.
I finally got to watch, because I found it randomly, Skyscraper. Another Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movie.
Skyscraper? From how long ago?
Last year.
What?
Exactly.
I did,
Exactly. Let that soak in, man.
Skyscraper.
That movie did box office numbers, okay? And you never heard of it.
What? I'm the one that
It's so bad.
the one
It's
that you don't
so
hear about, which is
bad.
curious, is Avatar, which made it's the highest grossing movie of all time.
Which Avatar?
Blue People,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
highest grossing movie. Not a single reference anywhere 10 years later.
Like, that is the biggest movie of all time.
Yeah.
Like,
Kind of interesting, eh?
I'm really glad it's not The Last Airbender.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that it's like Shyamalan went through like an amazing golden beginning and then just dumped everything for garbage, and then now he's kind of like returning a little bit.
With which movie again?
Glass.
Glass, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and then Unbreakable.
No, Unbreakable was way
Split.
earlier.
Split.
Split.
Yeah.
I will have to say Split was a good movie.
Yeah, it was
Split
pretty
was
good.
a very good movie.
I haven't seen it because I'm not too fond of horror movies, but
I wouldn't
can
say it's a horror
definitely-
movie. I think you can survive this one.
Thriller.
Yeah. You got someone on the screen over there, sir.
Oh, it's probably.
But
I
what
need to
was I
restart my
saying?
computer. How about later? For
What
the
was I saying?
12,000th time.
Brandon, what was I saying before?
Talking about Rampage,
Skyscraper.
Skyscraper.
Terrible movie.
Box office numbers. Never heard of it.
Terrible movie, dude.
Do you know
a
how much
bad movie.
approximately it grossed?
I have no idea.
Oh.
But I'm assuming they did internationally well. You know what I
Probably
mean?
because a lot of movies these days are going more international aim because of
The Meg
yeah.
being the biggest example of that nowadays. No one saw it here. It was a garbage movie, but somehow it's the #1 movie of the summer or of that time.
I mean, like
Doesn't
whenever
make
somebody
sense.
says, "Yo, did you see the Meg?" You mean Megan from Family Guy? That's what I keep on thinking is that poster,
I
but it
know.
shows Meg under the water.
Coming up the water. I know. That was a funny
Peter
one.
farting in her face.
But okay, back to the first one we were talking about, Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they're probably still going to release the movie
Yeah.
because you're right, they're not going to scrap it. I think they should scrap
They've
it.
done three test screenings, so they're almost at the end.
They've done 3 test screenings and they reshot some stuff. And you're still striking out, man. Like you're still striking out.
I guess
Do
maybe
you save what you have and scrap it, or do you put it out and just deal with the consequences? You know what I mean?
I mean, like if you release internationally, man, maybe there's some possible scenes of redemption or
or
possibility.
maybe
of
they can just
redemption.
be smart and release it for Netflix.
That's a lot of money just to go straight to Netflix.
But they'll make a lot more back.
Would they?
They'll make a lot more back on streaming. Look at Bird Box,
Yeah, but that's
By
a
the
Netflix
way-
original.
by the way. Saw Bird Box. Not that great. I'll call it The Happening 2. Yeah. It's The Happening 2.
Well, I mean, like other people thought it was better.
I don't know why. I really don't know why.
I'm like, I'm
It's
glad to
not
see
that
Sandra
great.
Bullock finally coming back into the scenes.
She's
But
not doing the blind sides no more. But honestly, dude, Bird Box, I don't understand the hype of it. I didn't understand it. Like, I watched it all. I sat there. I understood why people liked it.
yeah,
But as someone like who understands movies, you and I do, or anyone else who does, it's not that great of a movie.
kind of reminds me of Bright. Will Smith.
I'm gonna take that back though, because I saw Bright. I liked Bright.
It was good.
Tell me why you didn't like Bright.
Context. A
In
lot
what
of
way?
things that was being said and being used as far as like points of conversation, like in the very beginning, fairy lives don't matter. Like, ooh, I get what you're trying to
Yeah.
say. Not a great use of that
My
terms.
biggest flaw with that movie is they didn't give us a backstory.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
they
That's
did, but it was brushing over.
way too brushed over.
Way too brush.
Give us like
like if you want to have it where there's like there's cooperation between the orcs and the humans.
give
and
us 10 minutes of the past
Mm-hmm.
and what links you to the Brights. You know what I mean? And what links you to the Wands, what links you to this, to that
what
evil
what
villain.
led up to the whole separation of the
Exactly.
of the elves with
Not
the
just
orcs.
now you're in downtown LA and everything you thought was mystical is true.
And Beverly Hills is only elves,
Only elves.
and you can't have anybody. I was like, that's hard segregation there.
Exactly. So I want to know how that comes about. But other than that, it's honestly not that bad of a movie. I like that
it's
one.
okay.
I liked that one just because it honestly was an original idea. It was a good original idea,
Yeah,
but
that-
just poorly scripted.
If they would have made End of Watch or Bright as like End of Watch, That would have been so much
That would have
better.
been so much cooler.
Like, yo, having real deep interactions where you're actually having a complicated storyline, maybe like American Gangster kind of thing.
Yep.
Instead of just kind of, we just saw that. Unlike, just having this kind of the top layer, you're kind of like, stereotyping these people.
Which
like
honestly
this
is probably
and
one of
that.
my favorite cop movies next to Training Day.
Oh, yeah.
Like, in colors. 'Cause Colors
My
is a good
blank
one.
word. You can't say those words, but
do
I
that
can say
one.
blank. Blank man.
But have you seen Blank Man?
Yeah.
I am so glad you brought. I'm so glad you said you've seen that movie
Well, it's a classic.
because there's so many. You say it's a classic, but you know how many people haven't seen Blank Man?
It's one of those movies that's a classic but goes under the radar. Like Iron Giant when it first came out.
Yeah,
So already it was a great movie, great animation, but
just rode under the
poorly-
radar. Treasure
poorly-
Planet rode under the
Poorly,
radar. Titan AE rode.
other
under the
people
radar.
actually think Titan A is kind of garbage, but it's like a dark horse.
Hey,
It's like a dark
we
horse.
watched Dark Horse. We watched
No, that's Katy Perry.
different. But we watched Titan AE. I think we realized when we watched it then, it's still a good movie. It's a good idea. It's definitely corny.
It is corny.
It's definitely corny. It's definitely a very highly corny movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Oh, have you seen what? Okay, maybe you can explain to me what's happening in Chicago, but it's cold as shit.
So what's been going on in
I
Chicago?
think that's the only way to describe it. So what's happening there?
The polar vortex, which is
Okay.
it's
polar.
it's basically the jet stream that is above the Arctic
Okay.
has kind of broken into 3 parts. It happens. It's
Okay.
not like a thing that never happens. It happens once in a while. It's just that this one is going to last maybe 6 to 8 weeks. And
Oh, really?
basically that whole jet stream of super cold air is being pushed into the North Midwest.
Because I don't know if you've seen some of these temperatures, dude.
Negative
Wow.
55, negative 60
Wind
with
chill?
wind chill. You got
I didn't see negative 60, but I saw negative 22 with feels like negative 65.
that's South Dakota, South and North Dakota. That's and Iowa or like I think it's Idaho, one of those places.
How cold?
They like negative 55, negative 65 with wind chill. It's cold, man. It's cold.
Oh my God, I've never been.
If you're
I've never
outside
been
for
so
5
thankful to live here.
If you're
honestly.
outside for 5 minutes, frostbite. 5 minutes, you'll get frostbite.
Well, you showed me those noodles that got stuck in midair.
That was Chicago. That was Chicago.
That's
though.
Chicago. Literally,
so that's
there's
like
a
negative
photo.
22. Oh, dude, it's
There is a photo of this guy. Literally, he's outside and he has a hot bowl of noodles. Apparently, it was a hot bowl of noodles.
It was.
And he just lifts
Picked
it
it
up,
up,
and it just stays.
froze.
It floats in midair, like a magic trick.
Yo, it's bright
It's-
coming through. Oh no, the wands.
Oh my God, he's a bright.
The wands are
But
forks.
That or the inside door hinge that got frozen.
Yeah, I got frost
the
on it.
inside door hinge got frozen from the cold.
Somebody had a cup of water and splashed it on their glass window. It was on a high rise, I think. Splashed it on the railing where it's a glass window. Froze instantly. The water just froze.
Lake Michigan looking insane.
Oh no, the entire
like,
Lake Michigan is frozen over.
frozen.
And the river that's going through Chicago, frozen as well.
What you say? You told me they had to light the tracks on fire.
The subway system or the transit system in Chicago, they had to light the railroad ties on fire to prevent the metal from cracking and breaking.
Cracking.
Yeah,
That's how extremely cold it is.
because cold it makes things compress together, and
Makes them very brittle. Makes them very.
you can
sensitive.
actually if you have metal super cold enough, you can actually just break it as if it was glass.
Jesus.
Iron pipes can just shatter.
Like when you told me, like, yeah, they had to light them on fire. I'm like, God.
Yeah, there's video
it's pretty
showing
cold.
the cross beams where they have the actual crosses for tracks for trains to cross tracks. All of those crosses are on fire because you have to
That's
move the
aggressive.
metal itself.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah.
if it's super cold, that can actually break, not bend, break.
I can't even believe that, man. That's
Total
insane cold.
insanity.
That's insane cold.
And this is and
What are we on time, by the way?
we are currently at 39 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I feel like I didn't even feel that go by.
Oh.
Honestly. But yeah, dude, that's
So
insanely cold.
so today it was supposed to be a high of negative 22.
Yeah, I saw that last night. Negative 22 is a high in Chicago.
So it's gonna get
And then it's supposed to get lower, right? It's supposed to be at night. It's supposed to be like negative 30.
negative 30, 35.
they're having warming trucks go around and picking up homeless people.
Yeah.
Because the homeless shelters are so packed. And all these homeless people are going to freeze to death, dude.
Yeah.
You know how insane that is?
I mean, I have family over there, and they basically everything's shut down in Milwaukee. That all the bars have been closed, and that never happens because they're used to cold. And when they close the bars, it's like
whoa,
batten down the hatches.
Like,
do
whoa,
not let
it
any
must
hot
be
air
cold.
out. Yeah,
You mean I can't get a drink right now?
they've been telling, hey, if you got vents, move furniture out of the way so the heat can move more freely. It's like they've already enacted a state of emergency in those states.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that one.
It's been getting bad, like super duper cold. And you got the moron of an orange president saying, "Oh, we need global warming to come back."
Dude, okay. I'm at the point where it's like you can't even make this shit up. Like you can't even make it up. Can someone just take his Twitter away?
Can just somebody remove him from power? Can somebody get somebody who's got a couple more brain cells in his head?
I'm just
or
more
in
of,
their head.
For me, it's more of like, yo, can we just take away his phone? Like, I've never seen a president, and we've never had a president
This
tweeted this
dumb?
much.
No, I think it's beyond tweeting. It's just total dumbassery.
Yeah,
I mean, like, the whole reason why he was elected.
the thing is,
makes
it's
sense,
like people, like a lot of people were on his side for a good amount of time. Not even for the way he says things or his politics, but just how he's going about things and getting some things done. Even those people, when I talk to them, they're like, "Yo, like I don't even know what to do here."
This is too much.
How bad is it where Secretary of Defense Mattis no longer wants to be your Secretary of Defense?
He resigned.
He resigned. Secretary of Defense
Mad Dog
General Mattis
Mad Dog.
resigned. Mad Dog Mattis resigned. Okay? How bad are you running this shit where the coolest guy has to quit your shit because you're just too crazy? Like you're not running it right. That's a pretty bad sign. That's a pretty aggressive sign. And it's more of like, again, we don't really talk politics here.
Yeah, we
really
try not
to
to.
stay away from
We try
politics.
to.
This is the most we'll say about
Like,
it.
only because of the whole problem right now with Chicago and
Yeah,
those
the global
states and
warming
everything.
tweet. That's the only reason why
That's
I
the
brought it
only
up.
reason why. That's the only
But
reason.
like, honestly, we don't talk politics, and I'm gonna skip through this because it's not worth my time. You know what I mean?
It's not worth our air.
It's not worth my time to talk about politics. It's just
Negatory.
Because I've honestly had a few people like talk to me and say, "Hey, why don't you talk about this, that, and this about politics?" I don't feel like talking about it because no matter, it's like religion. No matter what you say, you're wrong to somebody. You know what I mean? You're wrong to somebody. And that's not an argument I'm willing
I guess
to
even nowadays,
have a conversation
personal
about.
opinions aren't as accepted anymore.
Well, nowadays. See,
Yeah,
nowadays, it's very hard to say what you want because some people are just going to justify you or criticize you for
What do you think,
you're saying.
Why do you think Joe Rogan has his chat disabled? And so
Exactly.
does what's it called? H3 sometimes has his chat disabled.
Because it's not worth your time. It's really not worth your time. And especially in this age where anyone can get mad at anything.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like anything.
Like that correspondent on CNN that was talking about, you have white privilege when it turns out the guy was actually African American.
That just made
Like,
me laugh.
what?
That just made me laugh.
You
Like, you don't
didn't
fact
even
check.
look up the guy's name.
But like honestly, I've had to talk to someone where it's like it's just not worth it. Because even if I say on here or anything, and I say this is my own personal opinion, someone's gonna take that as fact. They're gonna think that that's how he thinks. That's what he is. No.
Somebody may take it out of context, totally misconstrued it, and
Exactly.
it's like I never said things like that. Well, you said this. Well, you
That's
got to
like
read
when
the.
people ask me about like the jokes I write and shit like that. When I talk about that, I had someone go, "Hey man, aren't you worried you're gonna offend people?" No, I'm not, because they should know if they're coming here to see jokes, it's a joke.
Yeah.
If they can't handle that, that's their fault. That joke wasn't meant for them then. And it's just
You
not
just
worth
got to
it.
give them the cold shoulder.
Oh, but honestly, man, that's why we don't talk politics here. And I'm hoping it gets warmer.
Well,
In those areas, man. How long do they say it's gonna last?
6 to 8 weeks.
Oh, that's right. You said 6 to 8 weeks.
I mean, like, hopefully because
it's colder than Siberia.
Yeah.
The Siberians
You got
are looking at us and
You
going,
got Alaskans saying, "Yo, we got you, Chicago," because they're basically at the same temperature.
Yep. Like, oh, you guys are complaining? I live like this all the time. This is my life.
I'm like, hopefully because
I'm
of
saying
because
people
of the
from
way.
Alaska are a whole different breed.
Yeah,
Like,
the picture that I saw where it was negative 45, they were in bikinis and shorts. Like, whoa.
could you,
Whoa.
you know they pay you to live in Alaska? They pay you to live in Alaska.
I can see why.
You want to move to Alaska? We'll do the podcast from Alaska.
So long as I got good internet connection and a heater.
I mean, I would assume you
That's
have
like
good
the-
internet connection because you're closer to the top of the globe.
It doesn't really.
I'm joking. I know. But
You
honestly,
gotta work on that one. You gotta work on
that
that
one. Doesn't work. Yeah, that was a very dry joke.
You gotta. It's frozen over. That's why. It's the cold. It's the dry cold, man. That's what got you.
Dude, I couldn't live there though. I love heat.
I like heat. I like temperature fluctuations, like seasons. I like seasons.
Then why do you live in California? We have 2 seasons.
I can't. I'm broke.
Meekly
I can't
cold
go anywhere.
and hot as shit. Honestly.
Melting.
And melting. Yeah.
Plastic vehicle melting heat.
Yeah.
Well, melting.
No, those are called wildfires.
No, that's actually Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah. Santa Fe. Like Santa burned
I
up.
remember when I was coming back from Vegas one year. I think it was my first year going to EDC. They actually warned us because it was so hot. They warned us when we were leaving home on Monday that it was so hot that we had to put water on our tires because it could. If we were in standstill traffic for long enough, our tires were gonna melt.
Yeah, and then pop.
Like that's.
Imagine taking a tire than that. Oh, and the rim being that hot. Oh, I forget. Yo,
Like,
what happened to
nah,
your hand?
man.
Yo, I cooked them up with what? The
Tire.
rim. Oh snap!
These rims are fire, son.
Yo, you want some eggs? I'm gonna crack it on the dashboard.
Oh god.
There you go.
That's actually how my that's like a funny thing you brought that up. My dad actually, when he was in high school, that's how he used to heat up his burritos.
Speaking of which, when I was in college, one of the days that was
went to college?
super when it was super hot, I had brought hot pockets from home to have
did
for
the same
lunch.
thing?
I didn't even plan it. I left it in the trunk. It got cooked in the trunk. I didn't have to bring it into the microwave or oven. Nothing.
Wait, so you left them there, like as you went to class, or when you were driving to class?
Well,
As you were in class, or when you were
when I was leaving home, I put my lunch pail with the hot pockets in the trunk.
okay?
I got to school. I parked because
Did you take your lunch pail out?
No, it was in the trunk still. I had
For
left
how
it in
long?
from basically 8:30 in the morning till 11:30, and in that time span,
It cooked.
It cooked. It was that hot. I'm like, oh hey, great! I don't have to actually go to the microwave.
That's kind of funny.
That's
That's
insane.
pretty cool, honestly.
That's insane.
That or my favorite one that I've ever heard is Bert Kreischer's wife's family used to smoke meat in their car. Yeah, I want you to let that soak in.
Was it a decommissioned car?
I don't know. I never got that answer.
Better not be a Tahoe.
But they used to smoke their meat in a car.
Ugh.
Or jerky their meat in a car. Like dry off their meat in the car. Sorry, not smoke, jerky.
Yeah, because smoke.
Yeah,
requires
totally different. I
combustion.
know, I totally fucked that up. But they jerkied their meat in the car. So
Wow.
that means they had to leave raw meat.
Salted, heavily
Salted raw meat
Just sit
in their car in the sun
for days.
for days.
Probably
You know how bad
weeks.
that car must have smelled?
They probably never drove it again. Maybe that's why they used that car specifically.
I'm hoping it's a clunker. I'm really
Probably.
hoping it's not your
I
daily
hope,
driver.
I hope it's like a really crappy lemon.
Yeah, I really hope so.
Because
I
if
hope
it's like a nice
Pinto.
car,
I really hope they're cooking this shit in a Pinto, like something.
because maybe you can
Give
get
me
some
a
beans in
Gremlin,
there too.
Like, honest.
Pinto beans.
Thank you for the dad joke. But
Not a father yet. Not yet. Man.
but yeah, that's my favorite one. Oh, next one, just because I don't want to forget about this. We were talking about 76 today.
This Fallout 76.
What happened with that? Explain to me again.
There was an update which turned out not to be an update. It turned out to be a rollback.
Okay. Explain to the people what a rollback is, so that way
So
we can kind of.
sometimes in some crazy situations when you're developing software, sometimes when you put out an update, it breaks more things than you fix. So you roll it back to a previous version so that it's in a more stable state. Because in that previous version, everything's running. It's just some broken things that
See, I think I know what you're talking about with this cord. I feel like it keeps.
pushing out.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Am I good?
Yeah, you're okay.
No, because good. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So sometimes, you have to pull it back because the update that you pushed out was way too broken. This time, they had done fixes and everything was going well, and they decided to roll it back an update and it broke basically everything that was fixed.
It broke everything.
So one of the big things, one of the keys of PC gaming, which is ultra wide gaming, where you have a 21 by 9
that's
monitor.
literally like the pinnacle of PC gaming nowadays.
Yeah,
is
21 by 9 aspect ratio monitors. It broke that, and it was working fine previously. Why?
What? Okay.
Oh my gosh.
What? Okay. Why do you think they did this rollback? If you had to,
I don't think
put
it was
yourself
that
in the
they.
seat of that company.
It wasn't intentional, however, it was. In a way that I do not understand how I could explain it, because I don't even understand why they would do something like that.
You think they're rolling it back so they can put out a better update?
No, because if you rolled it back to put out a better
it doesn't
update,
make
why
sense,
not just
right?
leave it there and then put out another
That's the only
update?
thing I could think of where it's like they're going to roll it back so that way they can have a better update patch to fix all of it. But
See, you would only do that
again, it doesn't make
if
sense.
the update that you've originally put out broke more things than it fixed. But in this case, it had already started to fix things like ultra-wide support was in there and other things, and this time it just made
How much
things
worse is it? Have you seen any gameplay from it?
Negative. I'm like, it's already bad from the start. Why am I going to look at something that they said,
Is it Anthem bad?
We don't know enough yet about Anthem.
But enough more where it's like...
It's enough where you have some stores, I think in Australia or some places, where they're bundling the Xbox One's Fallout 76 version, which already comes with it, with another copy of Fallout 76, just to get rid of it.
It's so funny. It's
so
ridiculous.
At this point, I'm like, you know what? 76 has been a lost cause since
they
it
just
first
need to let
came
that
out.
game die. They really need to let that game die because it's been how many months since it released, and every time they try to do something with it, it continuously just shits the bed, man.
There's just been so many lies that we've been getting from Todd Howard, from Bethesda, that, apparently they got tons of help from not only Bethesda themselves, but their other studios and id Softworks, which, by the way, I don't understand how id Softworks could help and have it be this bad, because id Softworks did, I don't know, a little game called Doom? Hello?
Oh, I know.
How could they have done this?
I know.
And then they had help from ZeniMax Media, which did ESO, which it's got some issues with microtransactions.
It's more of, I'm happy at the fact that they're still paying for the sins of which they caused, because they've literally ripped off thousands of people.
Of this.
You know what I mean?
Because of this. This was the final straw that broke the camel's back.
Yep.
I mean, like, we were getting pretty close with Fallout 4. That was like already pushing it.
That was already...
This was the final straw.
See, I think as a community, we should have put our foot down with Fallout 4, because that game had a lot of garbage in it.
It did.
A severe amount of garbage in it.
The thing, is that even though they put out updates and all that, because it was primarily single player and only single player, the modding community had the ability to fix all the crap that they didn't want to fix.
And
Bethesda didn't want to fix.
I'm okay with that, because the modding community for games has always been there, and they've improved games.
Oh, yeah.
But
the unofficial Fallout 4 patch.
They shouldn't have to improve a game that should be pristine on the release. You know what I mean?
It shouldn't be up to the task of the modders to fix the game. It shouldn't be
up to us to fix your fucking game.
Yeah.
Honestly,
that's accurate.
If we're putting your game together for you, what
$60
the hell am I buying?
premium game, and we still have to fix things.
And the community has to fix your game for you. No.
That's broken. So basically, because of
that's not how this works, man.
Because of 76 and all this, crap, they're on the chopping block as far as community relations with, how they perceive Bethesda and how they respect them. If they mess up Starfield or even also Elder Scrolls 6, that's it. We're done. It's hey, we're giving you one chance to fix yourself. After this dumpster fire that was 76, you have one chance to redeem yourself.
One chance.
Overhaul every single thing, dump the entire engine for something else, or rebuild it from the ground up. You gotta fix your shit ASAP.
They really do. Speaking of, because I know we're at the time we're gonna start wrapping it up, right? Yeah.
Probably.
So earlier, before we actually started the podcast, legit, maybe an hour before the podcast, we started reading about, what is it? We started reading about Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook. So you know a little bit more than I do.
Well, it's because it was on a Reddit thread. Where basically, if I can pull it up right now, I'm opening it up. It's loading, and
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we can't have Dead Space. That's my fault. So
here it is.
You found it?
Facebook is paying teens to install a quote-unquote research app that lets it monitor their phones.
Yep. And then right after that,
Apple has said, where is it?
they were going to block that app, right? That they're blocking that app from their Apple Store.
Where is it?
I think it's I think Apple said they're going to block that
Apple
app.
bans Facebook's research app that paid users for data. Completely banned it. And I think good on Apple.
Good. Because we had someone here today that was trying to justify Facebook.
Social media marketing.
Social media marketing to us.
Marketing.
So, and then we saw this. It's like, look, Facebook, I don't use Facebook anymore. I deleted mine. I don't, especially after the security breach.
Yeah,
and they sold all our information. And especially now with WhatsApp and China and how they're using that app to track people down, basically.
Waymo, but basically same thing.
Same thing. But I'm just no longer going to justify Facebook as being what it is. And the fact that Instagram is attached to it,
they're owned. It's owned by Facebook.
It's owned by Facebook. And now I'm really, really, really just not liking this. Because I'm already decently paranoid about my security and all that things after I had my debit card stolen. You know what I mean? I had everything stolen from that Target breach, from the whole Target information breach. So I'm already OCD with that. I don't want that to happen. I'm good. And with Facebook to do this again, let's realize this: they're doing it again. They're trying to get more information.
The difference now is that they're
paying
saying,
people.
yeah.
That's the only difference. Instead of going, hey guys, or not even saying, hey guys, just going, we're just going to steal all your information, and they're just going to sell it off. Now it's going to be, hey, how about we pay you, and you just give us your info.
Yeah, at this point, there's some people that are saying, you know what, if people are just going to start stealing my data, might as well just make some money off of it. I'm like, yo, that's not the right way to think of things.
Like you said, good ups to Apple for blocking that out.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's such a low move for a company to do. You know what I mean? That is the bottom of the barrel scumbag move.
Oh, yeah.
To target it's like Rice Scum and Logan Paul with those randomized loot boxes.
It's like
honestly,
it's like Rice Gum
oh man, I don't even want to get started with Rice Gum because I've said this. Huh?
Saying crap about Gila and Ethan.
H3 podcast.
Oh my gosh,
fuck that guy.
Such a low.
But basically, what these kids, the reason why I compare them to this, for people who don't know, is that these two big, and again, they were the big headliners who had the most crowds, so that's the reason why they're getting the most shit about it. Is that they had these loot boxes that you'd pay $100 for online, and they were advertising it.
Yeah.
For you can win a Gucci bag, you can win Yeezys. You can win an
iPhones.
iPad, or you can win a sock, or you can win
store credit,
which
is just for
their merch.
Yeah,
and they were upselling these on their websites. And to me, that is the lowest form of marketing and the lowest bottom of the barrel YouTuber ever. Because if you're willing to target all your young audience to beg their parents to go, hey, I need $100. I need $100 so I can buy this box. Yep. I need $100 so I can buy this box. I need it. And that parent buys it for them, and that parent sees what you open, and it's a fucking pencil. No.
Yeah, they're just taking advantage.
No, you're taking advantage of a young crowd, and they're doing this. That's the same thing Facebook's doing now.
What was it? Facebook recently categorized the lowest or the youngest kids to be quote unquote whales for their gaming, because they spend the most money.
They don't even see any of their users as people anymore.
Oh yeah,
they don't.
Within the gaming industry, it's been kind of said that you have to look at when it comes to microtransactions or paying features and stuff. There's different tiers of people, and it's kind of really crappy that even in the industry you categorize people by either fish
Which, honestly,
or whales
I understand
or dolphins
for a business aspect because we are consumers and that's what it is. But when you're no longer referring to us as consumers or customers or anything, we're like, that's a whale right there. We gotta.
It's like all these people can cry and cry and cry, but it doesn't matter because we're gonna get the most money from these guys.
Nah, man.
So we cater to them.
I'm not cool with that.
EA
I'm not
and
a big fan
FIFA.
of that.
Oh yeah, EA and FIFA. The whole thing with Belgium, EA blinked.
Yep.
They pulled it out. Finally.
Thank God.
Now we just need to make sure that
Now
it comes
we're
over
just
to the
happens with that.
U.S.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now we need to get it done here, honestly,
Yep.
because I'm over it.
Yeah,
And I'm really mad, as we talked about this earlier, I'm really mad at how people are comparing certain games to these big franchises, these big games that are like, well, you can buy shit in that game. I'm like, no. You have the option to buy. Like, what was the game we were talking about earlier? Not Warframe, the other one where you can buy skins.
There's a lot of
League
games.
of Legends.
League of Legends.
League of Legends. Completely free to play.
Yeah, free to
Completely
play.
free to
That's
play.
the key thing.
Free to play. You're not paying $60 for the game and then buying all the shit after. You're getting a free game, and everything you want to buy is either credits to buy your skins or it's the skins themselves.
And the thing with League of Legends, depending on, let's say you're playing, there's a character by the name of Annie who has this teddy bear. So if you really enjoy that specific character, you can buy skins for them instead of
Exactly.
Oh, I get a loot box, and because I played the game, I get that, and it's like, come on. At least you're able to pick what you want.
Exactly. The same thing why, like, again, I'm not a big Fortnite fan. It's Minecraft with guns. Honestly.
Yeah. Well, it's Minecraft Hunger Games.
There you go. Minecraft Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a big fan of the game, and people were complaining about the V-Bucks and this and that and this, and the Battle Pass. You even brought up the Battle Pass.
I
when
did.
We talked about
I
it.
did.
So what people don't realize is that game is free to play. The Battle Pass is free when you hit a certain level, and all those things you can get for free. Like, I got an emote for free from playing one game. For leveling up to, like, level 5, I got a free emote. I looked how much that is. It's a $10 one. It's a $10 one, but you can win it, and you can earn it. So anytime it's a free-to-play game, and yeah, you can buy skins, you can buy characters, you can buy that, I'm not going to argue with it. Because it's like, I'm getting the whole content for free. I'm capable of beating the whole game, or beating certain levels, and beating this, that, and this, and doing this achievement to get that. Free battle pass, free skin, free this, free emote. I'm going to do the free way, like you did with Warframe. You know
I would really prefer if companies would go back to the original, where it was you would complete a challenge, and as you complete that challenge, you get a reward, which is a certain thing. So like in Jack 3.
When is the last time you were playing a game and you heard that little brink of an achievement? You know what I mean? Because remember when Xbox 360 came out, or Xbox in general?
You get them a lot in Steam. Steam achievements, those are always a possibility. Like, I've been playing Psychonauts.
Oh, yeah, you don't really have a console, huh, besides the
Switch.
Your Switch.
And I got a PS3, but I hardly play it. I just use it for, like, movies.
You don't really get those amazing feelings anymore of, like, yo, my brother was a big achievement hunter on Xbox 360. We call it his sex box. Hilarious. Because legit, for a month, we didn't see him while he was playing Oblivion.
Well, that's Oblivion. It makes sense.
Dude, he played that game for a month straight and beat it. Like, that was his girlfriend at one point.
Damn.
It's hilarious.
I need to get back to Oblivion.
Like, it was funny. But with that moment, you really wanted to get that little achievement bubble. You really wanted to go, you know what my achievement score is? It's this.
But it's not only that, but it's also like, okay, you completed that achievement, and you got a worthy reward out of it.
Exactly.
That you got something that's like,
you
let's
got
say
what you worked for.
Let's say you worked really hard and you got all your stats to 100, and you know you beat the main quest line and all side stuff. You get a super unique armor set.
Yep.
That you get from completing. Not that you have to buy it or you get the coins to get
completing it.
Yes. Like let's say with.
And can we bring campaigns back?
Oh yeah, please. I want meaningful stories. I mean, you saw God of War, Spider-Man.
It's
Last
possible,
of Us.
guys. It's possible.
Totally possible.
It's completely possible.
Red Dead Redemption, or Red Dead 2, not the online version, because the online is garbage.
Yeah.
Total garbage. It's a mobile game transferred over into console. It's crap. Just like Anthem.
Bad. Like what?
Just like Anthem. Garbage. Oh yeah, I've already posted on their the subreddit for Anthem that it's a disappointing game. It's basically Warframe that's been copied over, and people are like, no, that's very bad.
No way.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so in your personal opinion, Anthem is just a reworked version of Warframe.
Think about it. In Warframe, you have your operator, and you have your Warframe.
Your suit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's the
There
same
you go.
thing.
You just said it.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. And they're offering these. Oh man, it's just
You know what, man? On that note, let's start wrapping it up.
Yeah.
Because it's
just bad, man.
terrible.
It's just bad.
Oh God. All right, guys. So we will be back next week. We're actually going to have a special guest next week. It's still not Evil Hero because that guy's taking forever to get back to us. But it's going to be our good friend, Tony, from Pure Nirvana. We are really excited for him to come in. We're very excited to have this great interview. He's a very good friend of ours.
Oh, yeah.
Nice guy, funny guy.
And very knowledgeable.
And a very knowledgeable individual. And we will get into that next week. Next week, like I said, we're going to be here again at Explicit Vape Burbank. We want to thank Ed for allowing us to record here again.
Thank you.
And anything else you want to add, Brandon?
Looking forward to the next show, and hopefully the whole setup continues working pretty well.
Yeah, because this has been working out pretty well for us.
Yeah.
Like the camera, the feed, the audio is working really well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty happy of how well it's working now.
Same here.
But other than that,
oh, you want to do a little bit of the reverb? We got a little bit of reverb going through. Hello.
you want to do the reverb?
That's what we are.
So on that note, we'll be back next week. And remember,
Just be real.
You gonna play us out? You got this? Did you turn off the reverb? I'm still on camera.